Hi everyone, it's Jung here, and today I have another process video showing you how I made a couple of cards using the Spellbinders June 2019 Large Die of the Month kit, and this month it is called the Festive Wreaths Slider card. Not only does the kit come with all the pieces you need to make a slider card, but it also comes with all the little elements to decorate the wreath. It comes with stars, flowers, leaves, hearts, balloons, and it comes with some seasonal elements like snowflakes and bunnies with Easter eggs, acorns, shamrocks. They would be great for holiday cards. So to get a feel for how to use these dies, I went ahead and made that floral slider card off camera. And I've done a lot of floral Spellbinders cards for these videos before, so I decided for this process video I was going to make one using stars. I am just going to be die cutting a whole bunch of stars using my Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine. At first I was going to go with a pink and silver color scheme, but then I decided I make a lot of feminine cards, so I wanted to do a more gender neutral card. So I end up switching to a blue and aqua color scheme. The star die cuts 3 stars at a time, and they're 3 different sizes. Okay, moving on to the slider portion of the card, you're going to cut the biggest die 2 times, once by itself, and this will be the back part of your card. And then you're going to cut it one more time using that little piece that you see off to the left. It has the 3 horizontal bars, and you want to make sure that the thickest bar is on the side opposite the notched hole. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and tape the inner die so that it doesn't move while I'm die cutting it. That inner die cutting piece will die cut a couple of spots, but it will also create a couple of score lines that we'll be able to fold to create the slider element, and you'll be able to see that here in a second. So you can see from that inner die, it die cuts 3 sides. And you can see those 3 score lines, and you want to make sure that the open side is furthest from the notch. Next, I'm going to be die cutting that inner piece, the part that pulls in and out, and I'm going to be using some teal colored cardstock. And I'm going to give you a little tip here. For this piece, you want to use a very sturdy heavyweight cardstock. If you use a too flimsy of a cardstock, it'll pull out just fine, but it doesn't want to push in very well. So you're going to want to cut this half circle 2 times to make the full circle. I like to cut mine 3 times so that the part of the circle that sticks up has a clean back. And I'm just going to run that through my die cutting machine. The die creates 2 little embossed lines, so you know exactly where to glue the other half of your circle. Again, I'm just going to be running this through the die cutting machine 3 times. Now that all the die cutting is done, we can go ahead and start to assemble our card. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fold it. You want to fold the inner piece up first, and then you want to fold the middle piece and then that bottom strip. And so when you turn it on its side, it's going to have that zigzag appearance, almost like a tint. Okay, so you want to add adhesive to that little strip that you see here, and that is the only place you are going to attach that middle piece, that piece that I cut out from the dark teal cardstock. I'm going to line up the bottom of my teal panel to the bottom of that inner piece, and I'm going to center it, and since this is the only place that it connects, you want to use very strong adhesive. Okay, so this is our back piece. This is the piece that we cut out from the largest die without putting the middle insert in it. Once we attach it all together, everything is going to slide really nicely. We are going to add double-sided tape to 3 sides, leaving the top open so that it can pull out. And this is going to act as kind of a stopper as well, because you don't want to push the middle in too far. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I'm leaving a little bit of wiggle room for the slider mechanism. You don't want to have too rough of a time when you're pulling it out. And so I'm leaving just a little bit of space there. I'm going to be peeling up the release tape, and then I'm going to attach the back panel, keeping in mind where the notch is, so that I keep it to the top of the card. And you'll be able to tell by that hole from the teal piece. Again, since my middle panel was a heavyweight cardstock, it slides in and out perfectly. Now, just to show you on camera where those two embossed lines in, I went ahead and traced it with a pencil. You obviously don't need to do that. I just wanted to show you on camera that that's where the embossed lines were. So I'm just going to add a little dot of glue to each side, and then once you attach the other side, it makes a perfect circle. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I die cut this piece 3 times because I wanted the back of the wreath to have a clean edge. And the reason I didn't need to cut it 4 times is because half of the circle is going to be attached to the panel like shown, and then the top is what I wanted to have a clean edge for. Okay, so these are some sentiments that I had made previously using my Glimmer hot foil machine, and I used the Everyday Sentiments 2 set. So I chose the Birthday Wishes sentiment, and I cut it into this fishtail banner shape. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue and attach it right where the 2 half circles meet. Before I attach this circle piece to the slider panel, I'm going to lay out some stars to see how I want to arrange them. I could easily put stars all the way around the circle, and that would look really cute, but I decided to mimic my floral card and just keep the stars to a couple of spots. To create a bit of interest to my card, I'm going to build up my stars and have them look a little bit different from each other. On some of the pieces, I'm just going to use liquid glue and attach them to each other. And then other stars, I'm going to use tiny slivers of foam tape to create that dimension. And you can see from the stars that I've already die cut, I used the same cardstock that I used for the outer slider portion, the mint color, and then I also used that teal color that I used on the inner portion. And then I also die cut it from like a sky blue color, silver glitter cardstock, and that coppery glitter cardstock as well. Okay, so I was fussing around with the stars, and this is what I have so far. I decided I wanted to create more dimension by attaching some of the stars behind the other stars and not directly attached to the wreath itself. That's when I remembered on the bottom half of the wreath, everything would be glued down to the slider panel anyway, so I decided to go ahead and glue down the wreath. And I'm going to make sure that my sentiment panel sits right above that score line. I just like the way that it looks when it's popped up, the sentiment is above the fold. I'm going to be adding a couple more stars directly to the slider panel to create a more dimensional look. And I'm showing you right there, you could easily write a message or attach a little gift card. I'm going to thread some of the ribbon from my stash through that little hole, and that way the recipient will have something to hold onto while they pull the inner slider piece out. And here's a close-up view for you. After I finished filming, I decided to add a few more elements to give it more interest. I added a couple more stars. You can see 2 on the bottom right and 1 close to the notch up on top. And then I also added some liquid pearls and Nouveau glitter drops. I also wanted to show you that they do fit into an A2 size envelope. With the ribbon, it will be a tight fit, but if I had used something like twine or yarn, it would fit in nicely. And here's my floral card that I showed you in the beginning. Since I used that flimsy cardstock for the middle piece, it doesn't like to slide in and out very well. I definitely recommend that you use a sturdy cardstock for that piece. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out the Large Die of the Month Club from Spellbinders. I'll leave lots of links in the info bar below. Have a nice day. Bye.
Have a nice day.